show. My guest today is Langdon Foss, illustrator of a wonderful new children's book called Dinonauts. And the illustrations on here are pretty fabulous. Thank you, Langdon. And look at this back. And I'm going to talk to Langdon today about how he is inspired and where he gets this wild creativity from. The book Dinonauts has been co-authored by Mike Pacito and Pete Schuerman, and it's going to be made into a movie soon. Welcome to the show, Langdon.
Thank you, Michelle. Nice being here.
So where do you get this wild and crazy creativity from?
Well, the characters I actually designed many years ago, almost 10 years ago, for Mike and Pete when Dinonauts was only a screenplay for a potential movie. We were going to make an animated movie. And yeah, it's a tough market out there, and we wanted to market this idea a little bit more, and Mike had the great idea to turn it into a kid's book just to get the story out there, the mythology, get the characters out there. So the characters have been rattling around my brain for a long time, which helps. So when it was time to make the kids book, I realized that I could freak out the style a lot more than I had in the screenplay. And so there's a lot of, whimsical things that I've done with Dinonauts that I have never really done before in my storytelling, like in my comic books.
Absolutely, because you work on a lot of different projects, Langdon. You work with comic books and you have your own personal art. On Dinonauts, this is quite a theme where you've got dinosaurs and astronauts coming together in space. I mean, it's great. And the boys, it's written for boys around 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 years old or so. And the ones I've talked to just love this book.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, that is a tough one.
Tell me how you were able to,
my normal comic book style is definitely more formal. If any of your viewers out there are into comic books, they might understand the difference in general style between American comics and European comics. European comics generally, more detailed, more formal, more, a more realistic approach to anatomy, things like that. So, yeah, I looked at these characters I did, which, like, for example, Rufus, the monkey. If there's an easy shot, well, you can see Rufus right there. He originally had elbows, and I figured, he's this crazy kinetic character. He's the passion of the group and the soul of the group, and let's just let him bend any way he wanted to. So you can see him getting shot with lasers, and he's flipping over backwards and twisting around, and it was an opportunity to have fun with every aspect of the book. And since it's our project, I don't have an editor or a producer to defer to. I just wanted to have fun with as many things as I could.
Are you saying that in European comics that elbows bending in different directions might not fly?
Oh, well, that, for example, I mean, it's not very realistic, as you might imagine. There's just, I think the word formality is the right word for us. In American comics, you're not going to have that sort of, abandon either. But certainly with the growing influence of Japanese comics, American comics, there's definitely a sub-genre of American comics which use the hyper-expressiveness of Japanese comics. So you'll be seeing, that sort of hyper-expression more in American comics. But it's mostly just not letting myself be tethered by physics or reality in order to tell the story better. And I think I captured, his character, at least Rufus's character, more because I didn't concern myself with those limitations.
Do you put yourself into a young boy's mind when you created these?
I think I've got a young boy's mind.
Yeah.
So I just, I love kids, and when I'm, half the time when I'm at the playground picking up my kids, I'm playing with the kids more than talking to the parents, and I don't know, it just makes sense to me. I haven't spoken with a lot of boys who have read this, so I think you probably understand the climate more than I do in those terms. But I'm delighted to hear that boys are getting into it. I think that I think kids are talked down to a lot. You know, I think despite the focus groups with toys and movies and books, that kids are still being condescended to in terms of the products that they're given to enjoy. And I think, you know, doing something honestly and playfully and not trying to overthink your audience, you know, just be honest with your work. They're going to love it because I love it, and I had a wonderful time doing it.
That's really good advice, being honest with your work. I think that goes for writers and creative people all across the board. Is that a tough thing to stay in touch with?
You know, I'll be honest and tell you that I have not been seduced by fame quite as much as I would like to have been at this point. So yeah, honestly, I haven't been tested yet.
Yeah.
You know, with maintaining the integrity of my vision in the face of fame and gigantic checks.
And hopefully that's coming soon when this is made into a movie. Not everything in here is colored. The front and back are colored. The illustrations are black and white. Is there a reason for that? And do you encourage children to color this in or not?
Oh, no, we were thinking about, or maybe you were telling me that at one point, you know, coming out with some coloring project or a contest for the kids to do. No, honestly, it came down to money. You know, we wanted to sell the book. We wanted to get this book in front of as many people as we could. And, you know, I love black and white. You know, I feel like my art should be able to stand on its own with just lines. You know, I'm sort of a purist in that sense. You know, I think the coloring should be fun. Like you can see, like on the back cover, you know, oh, look, it's so pretty. You know, the colors are sure pretty. But, you know, I wanted just to plant the seed in their minds with the coloring on the cover so that they could sort of fill it in any way they wanted to, really, as they made it through the book.
And let your imagination go wild.
Yeah, and like even part of me felt bad about giving them any idea of what these guys were colored like. But, you know, if it's going to be a movie someday, I don't know. Got to make this decision sometime. So I don't know. I think they look pretty good in color.
Langdon, it's been great having you on the show. I wish you lots of success and hope that your brush with fame and fortune and those large checks come soon. You deserve it.
Oh, me too. Thanks a lot, Michelle.